Today we're going to look at the accessory structures of the skin. So nails and hair probably being the two most common ones. I'll also give you in one of the videos a little good study tool for your labeling test. So looking at nails first, fingernails, toenails are considered an accessory organ in the integumentary system. So nails are protective coverings that cover your toes, cover your fingers. They have a nail plate, and we'll look at diagrams of this. Stratified squamous, so thick epithelial cells overlying the nail bed. The lanula is like the lighter part. It's the most actively growing region. So just like your hair and just like your skin, it's going to kind of grow from the bottom out. So the nail root is at the bottom of your fingernail, and that's where most growth actually takes place. As new cells are produced, very similar to your skin, older ones are pushed outwards and become keratinized. And we know that those cells are dead because when we cut our fingernails, it does not hurt. Those are dead cells. If I were to rip my fingernail off, that would hurt because then I'm getting to the root and I'm taking out living cells. So this diagram, you will need to know the parts of the nail. So the free edge is the part that you clip. It's the outside part that basically hangs over your finger or toe. Cuticle, the cuticle, some of you might push back your cuticles, work with your cuticles. I myself am terrible with my nails. The lanula is this lighter colored. If you look at your fingernails, there's a little bit of a discoloration. It's lighter towards the base, and that's found right there. So active growth of the nail is going to take place here and even back into here. Nail plate is basically this flat part here. The nail body is actually this whole part, top part of the nail. And then the nail bed is the living cells underneath that attach to your nail. There again, this would be why it would hurt when you tear your fingernail off, because this nail bed has living cells, and that's why it hurts. So make sure you know those parts of the nail. Second accessory organ, hair. Hair is found almost all regions of the skin. There are a few exceptions. A lot of it includes like genital area, nipples. Also lips. Your lips do not have hair. Soles of your feet do not have any hair. Every hair develops from stem cells at the base of a depression called the hair follicle. And here again, we'll look at a diagram, and I expect you to know these different parts of your hair structures. The dermal part of a hair is called the hair root, and we'll look at that. Here again, same story. New cells formed, old ones pushed up, become keratinized, they die, and form the hair shaft that comes out of the skin. There again, we know it's dead because when you get your hair cut, it does not hurt. All hair growth takes place at the base of your hair. So if you've ever heard the rumor that getting your hair cut makes it grow faster, that's not true. Vitamins can make your hair grow faster, things like that, because your hair grows from the inside out. So, test purposes. There will be diagrams like this. There will be microscopic pictures like this. So, if I am looking at this, the hair shaft is the part that comes out. As it comes down into the skin, it's considered the hair root. And then down here is where the hair actually grows, like I said, down at the base or the bottom. There's a little hair bulge that basically is a part of the follicle. The hair follicle is this whole lining that surrounds the root part of your hair. So the hair follicle surrounds all parts. Sweat glands, we had looked at this on a different diagram, but going over it again. Remember A before M is maybe a way to remember this. Apocrine is going to be at the bottom, A first. Merocrine is going to be more towards the top. The pili muscle, erector pili, erects your hair, makes it stand up. And then these sebaceous glands on the side are going to secrete oils for your hair. Anything else? Probably not. If I look over here, here's the hair follicle, this darker purple. I do not see a picture of a sebaceous gland, but I'll point that out on a different website because that will be on your test. Adipose tissue, you can see some of these emptier looking cells. That would be fat tissue or adipose tissue. Hair color, genetics, we've talked about this. Melanin is responsible for hair color. A couple of new terms that deal with melanin. Dark hair, so if you have brown to black hair, you are going to have eumelanin, and that's the type of melanin that gives that color. Blonde and red hair typically have a pheomelanin, and those are just two different types of pigments that are produced. If you completely lack melanin, then you would be an albino. So a true albino has absolutely no melanin. And I myself, in real life, like people that I know, things like that, have not seen a true albino. Bundle of smooth muscles, these are the erector pili muscles, and that's what I said. They give you goosebumps, they make your hair stand up. When you're cold, they generate heat. And also if you get scared quickly, sometimes that will generate those muscles to stand up also. Okay, we've looked at these glands, the functions of your different glands. So sebaceous glands are a type of holocrine, so they're losing a whole cell, are associated with hair follicles. They secrete sebum, which is an oil-like substance. It waterproofs, it moisturizes the hair, it causes it to be a little heavier. And like I said, if we did not have the sebum, the hair on your head would actually like stand up because it would be very staticky. Sweat glands, sudoriferous glands are merocrine. There's two different types of sweat glands. So eccrine glands are the ones that are going to respond to body temperature. These are found all over your body. When you go to basketball practice, football practice, whatever, eccrine glands, you get hot and sweat, eccrine glands are found throughout your entire body. Apocrine glands really don't start producing sweat until you reach puberty. Here again, they respond to body temperature, also stress, nervousness, things like that. More common, axilla and groin area. So this would be armpits and pubic area. These are the ones that are more associated with smell. You know, when you have smelly armpits and things like that. The apocrine glands are going to have more of an odor that's associated with them than the eccrine glands. And the eccrine are found all over. Apocrine are specifically clustered in your armpits and groin area. Couple others, sweat glands actually produce your earwax. So a modified sweat gland, they're called ceruminous glands, secrete serum, or basically your earwax. So the wax that your ear produces is actually from a modified sweat gland. And then mammary glands are also a modified sweat gland, and they secrete milk. So those two are special. They're modified. They're not actually producing sweat that you think of. They are producing something more specific. So earwax and milk. Diagrams, we've looked at those. Make sure you study those. And we'll move on to body temperature next.